I was listening earlier to a Senate hearing on the withdrawal from Afghanistan, and I'll tell you what, there was a Mr. Turner from Ohio, and boy, was he really, man, he was going after General Milley like you would not believe. It was almost refreshing to hear, to be honest. And I don't know these different politicians, so you're probably more familiar with who it is that I'm talking about. I have no idea who he is. Name's Turner. He's from Ohio. So, but very interesting to watch his back and forth with General Milley. So. We've got another article though, and it has to do with this whole situation with kind of a shocking revelation. To be honest, I get it, but it nonetheless makes it no less shocking. So let's go ahead and go on over to the article. It's headlined, "They Really Left Us in a Terrible Position. American Senator Slams Biden as Pentagon Reveals U.S. May Use Russian Bases in Asia." So here's what the article has to say. American Senator Deb Fischer has slammed the administration of U.S. President Joe Biden after the country's Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin admitted that Washington is in talks with Moscow to use Russian bases near Afghanistan. And again, it kind of makes sense, especially with this, whole talk of the over-the-horizon types of drone strikes and stuff like that. That's probably what they're referring to, is using some of these bases to launch their missions from. But anyway, on to the article. Speaking on Tuesday, the Republican politician accused the government of having no plan to defeat terrorism in the Middle East following the American troop withdrawal from Afghanistan. What we're seeing in the reports today about asking to use Russian bases, that's just another example of what we see in the Biden administration, Fisher said. They've really left us in a terrible position that we have to ask the Russians to be able to protect the United States from terrorists, and we have to ask them to use their installations. The confirmation that the Pentagon has held talks with Moscow came from Austin, who was speaking in the Senate. According to the Defense Secretary, the topic came up during a meeting between Mark Milley, the country's top military chief, and Valery Gerasimov, the chief general of staff for the Russian armed forces. The two generals met in Helsinki last week. The idea of American armed forces using Russian bases in Central Asia was initially floated last June during a meeting in Geneva between Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin. President Putin offered to provide assistance, Austin explained. In Central Asia, Russia has military bases in Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Kazakhstan. All three are members of the Collective Security Treaty Organization, a mutual defense pact similar to the U.S.-led NATO bloc comprising of 6 former Soviet republics. Despite the confirmation from Washington, the Kremlin has refused to confirm the details of the discussions or that they ever even took place. "I'm not commenting on this topic in any way," Peskov told reporters on Tuesday. "Everything that could be said about those talks has already been said." So, we're going to see how this turns out. But, this, in a strategic sense, it makes sense. Okay, so that is what it is. The deal was we get out of Afghanistan. And, I personally think it would be a good idea to get out of a lot of places. But, if there are things that need to be done, and in my opinion, as long as we still have people there that want to come home, we aren't done. To me, we aren't done until the very last person that wants to come home comes home. That's just a matter of fact. But I don't see a whole lot of efforts being made to achieve necessarily those goals. But we'll see what the future holds. So this is what the report has to say. We'll see where it goes from here. Shalom.